reality is much more easier, and the best way to understand the universe is to know how biology works. If you go to your body, you will understand what is happening in the entire cosmos. It was the network. It was like connecting the dots. And it's not about living this world. It's not about ascending. It's not about living this matrix. It's about becoming the matrix. The first thing as a concept that we have to understand about dimension is that dimension means two measures. That's the word dimensions. D from Latin, two. Mention, which is measure. So this means two ways of measure one thing, 2 points of view, different perspectives of only one thing, meaning that every dimension is not separate from the other, but is a different measurement of only one thing. We usually say this is the third dimension, and there is a fourth dimension, and there is a fifth dimension. So we have to leave the third dimension in order to leave the fourth or the fifth. But it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. We have different points of view of only one thing. We are staring at different skies. Some of the stars that we see in the south are not the same stars that you see in the north. The third dimension is not a different thing from the other dimensions. The third dimension is basically a dimension with everything has 3 points of view, because we have high, depth, and wide. That's 3. And high, wide, and deep are called like this in space. And in time, we call it past, present, and future. So only in the third dimension exists the concept of past, present, and future, because we are 3. We have 3 points of view. But when you add a fourth vision of that, you have eternity, because there is a fourth line that connects past, present, and future. That's the fourth dimension. It's very difficult to understand the fourth dimension from the third dimension. The only way is a dream. When you dream, things happen without time, without space. Sometimes you just turn around and you are in a different country, in a different place, and in a different time, with a different body. So the fourth dimension is like that all the time. Usually people want to go, I don't know why, everyone wants to go to the fifth one. But the fifth dimension is the expansion of light or awareness of the third and the fourth. So you cannot be in the fifth dimension if you don't enjoy the other two. It's impossible, because the fifth dimension is the awareness of every vibration and light of your molecules in this body. So if you don't feel your body completely aware, you will not feel the awareness of the fifth dimension. That's why enlightenment is not going to the sky, is to shine. To go to the fifth dimension, you have to shine from the third and to understand every possibility that you have in the fourth. Third dimension is this, as I said, past, present, and future. So when you are in the fourth dimension, you are not anymore your body here and now. You are the first cell, you are a reptile from millions of years ago, you were a fish. The thing is that you were many things, and your water was in many trees through thousands of years, were in rivers, in the ocean, and then they end up being your blood, every drop of water. So you were so many things that in the fourth dimension, you can access to the data that your cells had about all that. All your evolution through millions of years is encoded there in this body. So in the fourth dimension, you can feel it, you can be that. What happened in the fifth dimension is when you locate yourself in the core of all that, see around and say, oh, this is all me. I can feel, be, and become aware of all that. And it's not about leaving this world. It's not about ascending. It's not about living this matrix. It's about becoming the matrix, becoming this world, becoming this creation. So the fifth dimension is basically a state of understanding in which you can feel the sun and a proton in the same way, and you can see a person and a tree in the same way. The person who explained it better was Freud. We are mammals, and we grow inside a mother. We are 9 months inside of the womb of a mother, and when we get out, usually the father is expecting, and we see the light. So if you start to understand how biology works, you will see that you have been trapped inside a mother for 9 months, expecting to see the light of the Father. It's not about God, it's not about this reality, it's about mammals. If you go to a seed, to a plant, they have a completely different view from what we understand. If you go to the mineral system, they don't have this issue. Only mammals have this issue because we were inside a mother. In Latin, the origin of the word mother is matrix. So when we say matrix, matrix is matrix, means it's the veil that covers you. That would be the matter, it's matrix. And then is atar, father, who is the pater. Pater means the path, is the one that leads. So it's a line that leads you outside the mother. It's all vocabulary from a family. So that's why we call the Father God and Mother Earth, because we are mammals. When you project the third dimension into the other dimensions, you are creating this idea of we are all trapped, and we have to go through a long process of trying to be free from something that is holding us. And once we are free from that, we will be received by the light of the Father, and then we will be free. But suddenly the Father says there are rules. You have rules because this is a home and you have to take care of the home, and then you grow up and you acknowledge that the mother is just loving you, that's why it's trapping you in her love, and then you understand that, oh, it's not that my mother was possessive, it was that trying to protect me from something from outside, so I love my mother and I forgive my mother, forgive my father. And suddenly when I just start to hate my father too, because the rules of my father are allowing me to do my life, I decide to start my own path and start to look within and look my own truth, and suddenly I became that. And I have my own kid, and I am mother or father and the own creator of my own reality with my own rules, and it repeats and again and again. So sometimes we project into the universe things that only mammals have issues with. The sixth dimension is the creator itself as creator, acting as a creator. The sixth dimension is the one that takes all the ideas, all the feelings, everything, and starts to manifest a different thing from it. It's like manufacture. When you take the main material from, I don't know, a rock, the sixth dimension would be the guy sculpting the rock to make a shape, sculpture. The process of the sixth dimension is not really like lightning for us because it breaks the shapes of the original shape. It takes the light and in the sixth dimension turns it into a rainbow, which means also takes a being and divide it into different beings. Takes a triangle and divide it in fractals, so you have a sphere. So the sixth dimension is the one transforming the main things into completely different stuff, which means that is the creator and also the one that distorts the main thing. If we could use very human religious words, is the dimension where the archangels exist and they are working in the light and in the darkness at the same time. They can see and also they can transform the shapes that they see into something completely different, like in a distorted image. We are a distorted image of an archangel. We are a distorted image of a cell. Without distortion, we wouldn't exist. Archangel means the powerful messenger. It's a message of power. There are attributes of the creator that you can activate within you. Like, I am the medicine, I am the protector, I am the light, I am the path, I am life, I am... Who said that?
Jesus.
He was trying to embody every one of the names of God. The archangels are not beings from outside. We are within them. How the solar system was created. It was a big explosion. The sun exploded, divided itself, and created chaos, destruction all around, and all the rocks, the parts that remain without light became planets. So they cannot shine anymore. They are not light, but they were part of the light. Earth was part of the sun. And so much energy in the sun shining so much created an explosion that allowed the planets to exist. So it is because of that destruction and division that life on Earth exists. But not only because the sun and its explosion, also because of the gravity of Jupiter. Without Jupiter, life wouldn't be possible here because we would have been consumed by asteroids. When I say seventh dimension, imagine that the seventh dimension is like the sun, like this bright being that is completely shining and fully aware of the divinity that it is, and that within itself has the power, the light, the life, everything inside. But some part of it says, how can I be all this if I cannot experience all this? So a part of yourself decides to open your eyes and say, I will leave what I have within, and that's the explosion. The only way to create is by duality, second dimension. So you need polarity in order to move time and space, because if they don't spin, they don't create life. They need movement, love. This movement will create that. So second dimension is the movement of polarity, which brings us all to the first dimension, which is the unity experiencing itself. But the only way to arrive to the third dimension is through the ninth dimension, which is God. Is not only in the center, is holding everything and understanding everything. It's like you with your body being fully aware of the work of every one of your organs, of every one of your cells, of how your DNA works. If you become fully aware of everything that makes you be who you are, that's the ninth dimension, or God. Everything emerges from the first dimension, of course, because I am. So in this I am has a dream, and the dream of the I am is in the eighth dimension, which is everything is possible, everything is there. That's the dream, the great dream where all the timelines, everything could exist there. The I am in the first dimension, when it sees the dream of the eighth dimension, that everything is possible, goes to the seventh dimension, because it's all the same. We can explain it from the first going to the second, or the first going to the eighth. You have one dot, which is the I am, and then it creates the infinite, which is the eight. Everything is there, everything is possible.